When we look around in our world, we see an awful lot of evil and suffering and heartache and despair. So we ask the question, if God is all powerful, all knowing, good, loving, how can he permit the evil we see around us to exist? Or to put it another way, is God just evil? And this is a question that just about everyone asks at some point or another. It's a question that comes up often. And it's a question that a few short videos that I'm intending to do will never answer adequately, because the more I think about this question, the deeper it goes. It's like a bottomless pit. It's so deep. It's so complex. But we're going to have a look at a few aspects of this to help you think through the issue, because it's up to you to think through this. With a few pointers, it can help. So, let's look at this question. This question is not simply the logical question it sounds like, because the question has two huge things going on. The question is logical in how can this happen? And I'm looking for a logical answer here. But there's more than that going on. Because the question is motivated by what we see around us that disturbs us intensely when we see the suffering and pain and death and heartache all around us. That hurts. And that's a problem. And it means a logical answer can sound really trite, really empty, really meaningless. Like when we think about when we think about the things that are going on, the heartache people have to see when they see absolute tragedies occurring within their family, where they lose people in horrific circumstances that are beyond any words to express. People go through all sorts of heartache and emotional stress and horror and physical pain and restriction and abuse and all sorts of horrific things are going on to people all over the world and to people next door. And maybe to you personally. And when we think about this question, sometimes the question even sounds empty, because of the intensity of the pain and the struggle people are going through, for which there seems to be no real answer. But the question is a logical question, and it's looking for a logical answer, and there is a logical answer. The question is, are we able to see past our pain, past the pain we see in others, to actually hear the logical answer? Some people say, well, the answer to this is very simple. A good, benevolent, loving, all-powerful God could not allow such evil to occur, and therefore he doesn't exist. And this is the answer that some people will give, and that's their logical answer, and boom, that's it. End of story. There's no God. You just live, you suffer, you die, that's it. There's no meaning, there's no purpose, there's no right or wrong. It's just the way it is. It is what it is. Wow, that's really hopeful, isn't it? But it's not a real answer. It's a cop-out. It's an escape clause for those who are not interested in real truth. The thing is, if God exists, and if he has spoken, it is possible to find a logical answer to the question. If there is a good, all-powerful, loving God, how can he allow such evil? Is God evil? There is a way to answer this. If we can see past our pain. The problem with pain is that if you've got a headache, man, what do you want? You want a painkiller. And with all the pain and suffering we see, do we want to hear a logical answer as to, or do we just want something to get rid of the pain? Stop the pain, stop the suffering. We want the suffering to stop, because in our view this is wrong. And any God who would allow it is wrong. But there is a logical answer there, and the God who has spoken has given us a logical answer. And if you can hold on and think this through, you'll see that there is a logical answer. So the question then that must come up is, how do we understand what is evil and what isn't evil, so that we have a basis on which to judge God as to whether God is being evil or not? And this is an important question. How do we make this judgment? Because people have different opinions on this matter. Well, that is a question for another video. So, check out the next video when it comes out. Maybe by the time you watch this, it'll already be out. Who knows? But thanks very much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. It does help. Subscribe. And may the God who is there and who has spoken bless you and comfort you in your distress. Bye.